Welcome to my energy update. Funny story as to how this video's come around, or not come around actually. Recorded an energy update yesterday, right? And it was like, yeah, okay, that's perfect. By the time I'd gone to bed, I was like, oh no, honey, energy's changed. I have never have I ever, we always play that game, had to re-record an energy update because it comes through, it's done, I receive, I perceive, and then I surmise, and I just think, okay, Gospel of Marie, let's record it and put it out there. That's what usually happens. And then last night I went to bed, I was like, no, I need to re-record that video. And then I woke up this morning even more so for many, many good reasons, because the 222 portal has gently, well, I say gently, kind of like floated us into the arms of Mars going direct today. It was felt by some of you on the 23rd, but I'm on the 24th here in Africa. And it's like, yeah, it depends where you are in the world. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, right? Now, first of all, this is all about crossroads. This is all about brand new beginnings. This is all about immense change, not just internally out there now. And that's really, really intense to actually start living and behaving and being in a different way in your physical life. That's like, it's quite difficult. And that's where I think that we're experiencing some resistance. Okay. So I'm going to get into what I feel is going on in a short while. But before I do, I want to just remind you that on Thursday, which is the 27th of February, 6 p.m. Central Africa time, we are indeed going into ceremony with Sekhmet Hekate. And it quite rightly so, that this ceremony, this gathering on Thursday is like so powerful because it is actually the new moon. And like everything, I just go with intuition, and then I don't realize half the time that I'm like, oh my God, well, the new moon is actually Hecate's moon. And the fact that it's just new moon, we get to do new wishes. Crossroads is a new beginning, death to the old, and so on and so forth. And Sekhmet is all around because she's burning up all the distortion, all of the things that make you think that you've just got to carry on like you've always done before. No, it's got to go, because that's distorting your vision of seeing the new. So Hekate and Sekhmet are going to be working together on Thursday. And let me tell you, man, this is going to be a big, I mean, we work high energy. I know we do. As our dream team comes together, you know who you are, all of those that come to Temple. It's always very, very powerful, but this is a next level. This is significantly so. And yeah, so basically Thursday we ride, and you just got to go to the information below in this post to just understand how to get the link. If you have the link, you already have it, just turn up and away we go. So now let's talk about the 222 portal. That kicked in on Saturday, right? Very interesting energy. Now, a couple of things I want to chuck on into the mix here. Basically, the 222 portal, if you add up Saturday's dates, it was the 22nd of the 2nd, 2025. That works out to be a number 6 energy, which is about harmony, balance, love, relationships, all the rest of it. Very Venus energy. Now, funnily enough, my wedding anniversary is on Saturday, and I've been married for 24 years. That's also a 6 energy. So I was like, that's quite significant. So let's not get it twisted. It's not always about your significant other when we talk about relationships. Your beloved, your true twin flame is you. And that is the pathway to, or the portal to, oneness wisdom, to the I am presence, to the divine feminine and masculine balance. So your relationships out there in physical form will mirror back to you exactly what you've got going on with your relationship with yourself, right? So now what was very interesting, I'm going to share this with you because this is kind of like a huge mirror for all of us, actually. So my husband is such a space holder, and he's look, I'm Aquarius, and I've got a lot of Cancer in my chart. So I'm very emotional, I'm very intuitive. Everything is just very intense. And when we go through these portals, very animated. He holds my hair back all the time so we can have a good vomit. Like sometimes literally, most of the time energetically. So he's the one that's just like, he's just the space holder, right? And he's just powerful like that. He doesn't go through things like I go through. He does it in his own way. However, Saturday came along. This guy got so sick. The biggest purge he's ever been through. He battled the whole day to let go and just allow this sickness to take place because he's not used to it. He's like, this doesn't happen to me. So I observed and I watched the divine masculine let go of control because of his sickness. He couldn't do anything else. And I watched him fight the divine feminine within, because I was saying, can I get you some food? No, it's fine. I'll make myself something later. So for him to receive, I was like, oh my God, this is quite something. So I was absolutely fine. I'm observing the shift now, because I'm like, number one, if the divine masculine is basically having his space held by the divine feminine, there is a significant shift, because this doesn't usually happen like this. Second of all, observing his relationship with being nurtured, held, loved, and just taken care of. And for him to battle with his control, to allow that to come in, I was like, well, that's a mirror for me as well. Obviously his own, you know what I mean? Two. So I thought, wow, that was a real gift on Saturday. It certainly wasn't like red roses and dinners. Do you know what I mean? Never is between me and my husband. We're always in ceremony. But what a gift, even though it was really, really hard to go through. I saw it in no uncertain terms, that it was like, wow, this is what's happening. Each layer we go through, we witness and experience a new layer being released, which is preventing us from coming into that balance of divine feminine, divine masculine within, right? So as this energy has been coming in prior to this Mars going direct, so we're still talking 222 portal, a lot of stiffness in your body, a lot of spinal aches and pains. For me personally, I have got very, very bad pain. This is my left hand, and it's coming through my shoulders. So all of this is up front and center, all spine as well, which is your absolute structure. And the kind of like support, if you like, of you, but also as well, if you're getting sore shoulders and everything like that, I have a very sore left shoulder. The heart energy, how we express it is through our hands. So we hug, we hold hands, we create things with these hands. Do you know what I mean? So the heart energy has to come all the way through here, right? To be expressed in the world physically. So if we have like pain in our shoulders and everything like that, I've got a lot of throat chakra stuff going on as well. And remember that the throat chakra is not just about speaking your truth. It's about how you receive change in the world. There's a lot going on. So how you express yourself through love, 222 portal, how you express yourself through love is going to be changing. Because we're changing, because we're getting more balance within, we're experiencing more unconditional love for self in comparison to where we were before. So of course, all of these big, deep blockages are going to start to feel like stiffness and pain in the body. So there is nothing for you to do to avoid it. Everything for you to do to support it. Get yourself a massage, sit in a salt bath. Epsom salts are amazing. Go to sleep with a, what are they called? A humidifier? Anyway, one of those things that does all the essential oils, those things. All of these things can support your being while your physical being processes such energies. So there's not an awful lot, like I say, you can do to avoid it, everything you can do to support it, right? So like I say, the balance is coming in. So now let's move into Mars direct, right? So Mars has been in retrograde since the 6th of December, which is kind of giving us the energy of going slow, of just like hurry up and wait. But we needed that light reprieve and rest. And like, I have been really, really feeling this energy. Like, I had my own version over the weekend going, I felt like I was going to spontaneously combust. And I think that was all the energy that I was feeling from Mars shifting from being in retrograde to now, because Mars is very much, let's go through it, that's very much about passion, courage. It's about physical activity, the doing. It's about anger as well. I've had a lot of anger on board, and I know there's a lot of people around me that are feeling the same. So we're a little bit walking on a minefield right now. So there's all of this energy. So of course it's like anything. It's like holding like a pinball machine, holding a pinball back. Then when Mars comes in retrograde, out of all the planets, it's the one that's going to be like, bah. So I'm feeling it today because I feel absolutely, and I'm bombed out. But it's because the energy has been so back, like the tide's been out. Now the tide's come in like a torrent of a tsunami. Woof. So you should be feeling that right now. So what it's going to be like, what I've been feeling as well is, let's talk about change, because this is what Mars is actually bringing us. Massive, massive change. And I'm not just talking about the little things now. I'm talking about the big things. That's why Sekhmet and Hekate are coming in very hot right now, because we are in the absolute deep, darkest depths of that critical point of change, right? So now we are being called to change our lives, right? Make big decisions. I know some of you I've spoken to. You're moving from one end of the country to the other. Today is a huge example. I'm going to use myself as an example. I spend all day, every day behind this computer here, recording videos, content, putting tours together, whatever. I'm here, okay? And there's nothing else, right? Apart from when I need to go for a wee or walk the dogs. I mean, literally, it's how it is. And today, I've signed up. Today is my DJ course. I've been talking a lot about it. Creativity, something completely different. But I am freaked freaking out because my day, which is usually like all day behind here, is now taken away because I've got to drive far to this DJ course, which takes up most of the day. So I only have a few hours in the morning to do what I want to do. And quite honestly, I've been wanting this because I know that I need to do something different to remember I say, decide, change, move into that uncomfortable zone, and that's where the magic, ignites. We know that, right? But now I'm living it and I'm having to do it. I'm so uncomfortable. I've taken so much out of my life recently, people, places, and situations. And I'm like, right, we're not doing that. And now all of a sudden this DJ course has come along. Oh my God. And then as soon as I get off that, I go to England and I go to Avalon and so on and so forth. This is not my norm. And I'm like, it's everything I ever wanted it on paper, but like my body is like screaming, no. So I've got a bit of what I call spiritual hemorrhoids. There's a bit of pushing and there's a bit of pulling. There's a sacred yes and a sacred no while this change is happening. So the reason I'm bringing this up is you may be feeling something similar in your life. And it's your inner being, it's your higher self that's saying, right, we're going that way. And it's your head that's going, no, but we've not done it like this before. It's not familiar, right? Even though the familiar is not what you want, it's just what you've always done. It's what you know. So this is what I'm talking about, the uncomfortable zone. Talking about the unknown. The only way that we can tap into that next level of magic is going into the deepest, darkest places or different places that we've not been before. Of course, you go to the same coffee shop every day, you're going to get the same coffee. You're going to see the same barista, just like, you know what I mean? Or barista. Could see a lawyer, I suppose. Going to see the same barista. And, it's just the same. So now all of a sudden you go somewhere else, service is going to be different. Coffee's going to taste different. Talk to different people, and that's kind of like where we're at because we're creatures of habit, right? So now this, even though Mars is very action based and like, right, what we're doing, inaction is an action. So really be mindful of that. Inaction is an action. We're still coming into the stillness. We're still coming into the calm. But the biggest thing we need here right now is trust, because we are really deep diving into that next level of the unknown. And that is where massive changes are going to come into your life. And that is, so I've said in videos before, it's not about whether you can harness that power or you can do that, you can ignite that superpower or that gift or whatever. What the real issue is here, why we resist, is are you ready for that level of extreme change in your life? Are you ready to commit to that? Because it really boils down to being a creature of habit. And even me, I'm quite good at this kind of stuff. I'm like here, there, and everywhere. But for me today, I'm really going through it because today's a different day. And I'm going to be in this DJ course for 2 weeks. So it's almost like I chose that, but it's not the DJing that's the issue. It's the Marie's changing her life and only having 3 hours of the day to do work, to be able to then go off and do something which I really want to do creatively. Isn't that funny that I'm fighting it? So be mindful of that. Like the very things that we really love and we want to do is the very thing we'll probably fight tooth and nail to receive. There's the interesting part, the receiving part, right? So we just got to breathe through this and expand, right? So right now, and this is a process before we go into the next level, right? Of really living this new life of the divine feminine through the eyes of the divine feminine, this new life of balance. We've been so caught in our suffering, we've forgotten what it's like to receive joy consistently, because it's just like, oh, there must be an agenda here. Okay, hang on a minute. Like sometimes I worry about not being worried. Sometimes I wake up and I don't have anxiety. I'm like, where's my anxiety? Is it under the table? Come on, are you behind the curtain? Where are you? Do you know what I mean? Instead of just enjoying my day of not being anxious. That is our human self. And we must just laugh at that. And we must just enjoy and go, oh, that's really funny. And bring light to the situation, because our human aspects are going to be the ones that kind of take us over many speed humps. And it's no different. We're not going to sit there and get cross with ourselves because we are human. That's part of the human experience. So being able to navigate that and love that into alignment and go, oh, look, they're doing that again. That's so cute. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, oh, look, Marie's going to a DJ course, everything she's ever wanted to do her whole life. And oh, that's so cute that she's fighting it. Oh, well, we're going anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's like that kind of vibe, But with the biggest changes, we have to address our habits. So I'm going to round this video off now and kind of like bring it into where I think we're at, even though we're kind of like really, really going for it. And we're just like, going through the change and everything like that. And we're at this crossroads. It really is time for us to assess where we've been, really ask yourself the question, what do you want out of life? Is it what you wanted before? You know, so I'm personally in the middle of the cusp where I'm not sure. I just know that I've let go of what I don't want. And be careful to pull that back into your space because of familiarity. Okay, so this is where it takes a lot of power and energy and focus to be in this center space and allow Hecate to meet you there. Because if you double back and go back to where she can't meet you there, you go to arrive in Hecate's space, not the other way around, you know? So make sure that you're making strides towards her luminal spaces, because that's where the magic is, that's where the power is, albeit uncomfortable. And you're going to take this time from now until March, I feel, and maybe even up until May, you're going to start to just like question, like, where am I going? What is my place in the world? What is it that I really want to do? Because you've done stuff for so long that it's just muscle memory now. And that's what's been coming through really, really big, that I need to just chill the F out. I'm going to be sitting down and I'm going to be observing. And I think that's why I've basically, without realizing it, my inner being signed me up for a DJ course, because it's something so unrelated, which just takes me out of all of this. Because I'm about to do a podcast as well. And I'll leave you with this. Is your spiritual path blocking your ascension process? We're all being spiritual, and we're all doing things that look spiritual, and we're all signing up for things that feel spiritual, do you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you realize, hang on a minute, am I just clogging up my space? Is it really this difficult? Like, maybe I just need to be still and listen. Just listen. And I lay in my hammock for like the afternoon a few days ago, because I didn't know where else to put myself, actually, because it was actually, I'm at the end of my tether, and I lay on my hammock and I just swung. And I went off into this astral sleep, and I came back. I got so many answers, and that was one of them. You've got to be so still now, and you have to really calm it down, and you have to listen. Nobody's going to give you those answers. This is a time of empowerment, of really coming into self, of going, yeah, I delivered that answer to myself from my inner being, because I'm now listening to her or him. And that's where we're at. So when I say, is your spiritual path blocking your ascension process? That's what I'm talking about. Taking on external opinions that basically come into your formula of finding your direction. Listen, if you are constantly doing that, I would say not a good thing. But if you have a very, very deep sense of self, like, I don't stop throwing cards out. I don't not listen to tarot card readings and things like that. But I always have a strong sense of self and direction and ultimately the actual overriding ultimate answer will come from myself. Sat in front of my altar through channel writing. That's who gives me the answers. Me, my inner being. And that's the difference. So maybe ask yourself how much of that you do, and that will bring a deep sense of freedom and empowerment and less fear, you know? So anyway, I'm going to leave you with that. Told you it was a bigger energy upgrade. See you on Thursday for the temple meeting. It's going to be a big one I was going to say this year. Yeah, this year, but this week, you know? But anyway, as always, thank you for watching. Let me know how you get on. Peace.